I see we have private chat up here rather than the.
Well, they still have not. It's on their list, to-do list of things to do, but StreamYard has not made it where the guests can see the other chat. And it's saying, let's see what's going on here. It's telling me to. I'm not sure what it's wanting me to do there. Yeah, it says we're live, but it's not. It's not picking it up here for some reason. I see some folks over there in the chat though. Let's see what we got. Yeah, are y'all seeing it over there on YouTube? I see we're getting some comments. We've got Harry's Place. We got Troy Pritchard, David Mitchell, Bobby. All right, I guess we're definitely live on YouTube. Okay, thank you. I don't know why I'm getting that. Okay, I guess it's just telling me that. All right. Yeah, so I'm here with Jim Senecola. He messaged me a little while ago and said he was going to cut some aluminum and had some questions and everything, but he went ahead and got it cut, and we've got he's already posted his pictures up here on Facebook. Jim, you want to talk about how it went cutting that aluminum for the first time?
Yeah, this is my very first time, and luckily I have a steel shop that sells aluminum, so I bought this 11 by 13 piece of aluminum, 1/4 inch thick, and it's in pretty rough shape. But it's okay, it's a piece. And the hole there is the piece that I cut out. And the part that I was working with is 3 inches in the X and 4.5 inches in the Y, and it's 60/61. And this is the piece. And Dave shared his file with me. So it has these 4 little dimples to drill through on the drill press, and then they have these keyholes, and then the profile cut. Now, I misunderstood Dave's directions, which is usual probably. I got excited to cut this, but mine was a little bit jagged. You can see like a little bit of chatter here. And so I slowed it down from 70 down to 50, and Dave reminded me it should have been about 40 or 45. So I'll keep that in mind when I'm cutting aluminum. But all in all, the part turned out pretty nice. And I got some pictures to show how it's going to work and how my Gatton CNC cut it. And it worked out pretty good. About 35 minutes from start to beginning. And I ran there's 3 tool paths. The drill holes for the drill holes for the laser right here, and I'll drill those out on a drill press. But it cut these hanging holes for hanging on the Z box, and then the profile. So I think the longest.
Yeah, I've got your Facebook stuff queued up here, Jim. So if you want me to
yeah, go
show
ahead,
that,
Dave.
we can do that.
Well, this first picture here is the how I cut. I got about a 40-second cut there, and what I did is I put some brown paper around my area because I wasn't quite sure how far these little aluminum chips would fly, and they do fly. I started out at 70 inches per minute, and I went down to 56, and it still was doing some chatter. And I used WD-40 as a lubricant, and I did use my vacuum to suck out the particles, but I didn't know what to expect on the chip size of the aluminum. Does this look normal, Dave?
Yeah, you know, just using that 1/8 inch bit, you'll get a bunch of little tiny, flecks. And plus, what was your depth of cut? Was it like
0.01, just like yours? It was really
okay?
small.
So yeah, you're just kind of shaving it off. You're not going to get real big chips when you're just kind of skimming the surface there.
Well, when you said that you used an old 1/8 inch bit, I used the old 1/8 inch bit, and it cut through aluminum, and it still did a pretty nice job. So.
Yeah, well, when I did mine, I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and pick an old bit to start with rather than get a brand new one, because I didn't know. I thought, well, sure enough, I use a new one, it may snap just like that. So I thought, well, I'll use this old one, and then the old one actually cut pretty good. I mean, I've still got some pieces sitting here from where I cut, but
okay, this is how I held the piece. Actually, the big piece of aluminum, I used wood clamps to hold it down, but I wanted to get a clamp close by it. And what I did is I just used a fender washer, and I put just a wood screw through it, and then I supported the fender washer with 2 1/8 inch pieces of ply that I had on hand. There's one here, this is the bottom, and there's one on the left-hand side. Yeah, and then this is, oops.
Where'd it go?
Just keep clicking, there you go. Well, go the other way, Dave. Keep going. Yeah, this is just the cut, and then I remember Dave saying that once you get ready to cut the profile cut, put a couple wood screws in there to hold the part down, and that's what this is showing here.
Mm-hmm.
And I did use my shop vac to vac out the chips as they built up. And you can go again, Dave. To the right, yeah, there you go. And then here's the piece. Now you can see how I held the with a fender washer, and that worked out really good. And all three guys. Okay, so that's my spoil board there. And go again, Dave.
Have we seen them all?
Well, there's just to show that I did do it on my Gatton.
Okay. All right. I love the flags.
Yeah.
Flags.
And what I have is I'll show you later on, because if you go down to the next group, Dave, I think it'll show it.
Okay. Let me go.
Scroll down there. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Here we go.
Now there's my WD-40, and that seemed to help, but if I could cut it dry, that would be even better. Then I found a chart on looking around to see what the different dials meant on the Hitachi, and they seem to be relatively accurate. And like Dave mentioned, like be around 12,000, so that's roughly 2.1 or slightly less than 2.1 on the marks on the router. And if you go to the next one, I think it just shows how I had it on the router. Yeah, you can see I just was barely over 2.
Okay.
So I could have probably went slower. Would that have been better on the router?
I don't know. I think I actually ran mine faster because you said 2.1 was
12,000.
12, a little over 12. I think I was running mine. I don't really remember now. I want to say about 16 to 18,000 on my
Oh, okay.
on
So
my.
maybe I was just going too slow for the speed then maybe. Well, I got chatter.
Yeah, but I mean, you got a decent cut. I mean, it's just something you have to play around with, because I'm using a spindle, you're using a Hitachi router, so there's going to be some differences, but all in all, it looks like you got a pretty decent part.
Okay.
I wanted to mention to Javi, he's going around and checking on YouTube. In fact, Javi, I did a test the other day, and according to Restream right now, I am live on 4 different places: YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope. Which nobody's come in on Periscope, but yeah, you can get the like there's indicated that that's a comment from YouTube. There's one from Facebook, and then of course there's one from Twitch. So it's pretty nice because it combines all the comments where I can see them all together, no matter how many spots I'm um, streaming to. Obviously, he's going to Periscope. I hadn't been on Periscope in a long time. In fact, I wasn't even sure that was still a thing. I haven't seen anybody do when Periscope first come out, well, that was the thing where everybody would do a live. Well, then once Facebook got it, everybody started doing it on Facebook and stuff like that. So, but yeah, should be streaming to all 4 places.
I think I have another group, Dave.
Okay, let's
farther on down there.
Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, yeah, let's check out.
Yeah, that shows the 4 side faces and how it looked. Now that I think about it, I was just so excited when it was cutting and not breaking. And
yeah, you can see a little bit of chatter and stuff, but all in all, like I said, you can always figure out how to get a cleaner cut later. The main thing is just to get through cutting a piece of aluminum without breaking a bit.
Exactly.
And that side there, you can see it's a little rough, but again, the part came out and it's a usable part. So you can always clean up the edges.
Yep. The file will work.
Now, did you do a final pass? You know how you can do that, like in wood. You like if you put a final pass of say 10 thousandths, it cuts 10 thousandths bigger, and then on that final pass, it moves in where it's supposed to be, and that way it's cleaning the whole edge up.
I don't think so. I was just like, man, I want to get this cut.
Okay, I understand. Well, it looks
another one. I can make another one tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's how I plan to do it. I'm going to use your advice though and move it up so that the bottom of the plate's at the bottom of the Z box. Because, like you say, the laser
like I said, about where you've got it right now, that's about. I have like a screw here and a screw here. I just have 2 screws in it. So when I'm running the laser, I drop it down so that it's down here.
Okay.
And then when I'm done using the laser and I want to run the spindle, I can just take it off and slide it up, and I'm still using the same 2 screws, but now it's here and here, and that puts this edge just about flush with the bottom of the Z box so that there's no danger of the lens on that laser getting hit with, running over a clamp or something like that.
Okay, cool.
Gary Brady's asking, is the file for that aluminum part available? Yes, that's the little laser mount that I made for my Ox laser, and it's available in the file section of the Gatton CNC Facebook group. Jim Trainer from Social Circle. How you doing, Jim? I don't have. Well, I guess I could try opening them. I don't have Facebook or any of these other things open, so I'm not sure. Okay, looks like we've got 21 watching over there on YouTube. Let's see if I can open this other up without messing up here. It looks like we got about 7 folks watching over there on Facebook. 8, I guess, 7 or 8. And it looks like 1 on Twitch and none on Periscope, which doesn't surprise me. Like I said, didn't even realize Periscope was still a thing, but I guess it is. So anyhow. Yep, I can tell you're on Facebook, Andrew, because as your comments come in, it'll have put the little blue background with the F, and if they're from YouTube, they'll come in like that. And let me go find that one that Javi did a while ago. And then if they're Twitch, they will have that logo. So they all show up here in this comment section with StreamYard. This is just, I tell you, the more I use this stuff, the more I like it. So, John, you haven't missed a whole lot. We've just been talking about, you can see in the picture there, that's the Ox laser mount part that I made for my laser, and Jim was cutting one just like it today. So he wanted to get on here and share his experiences and show off some of his pictures.
Yeah, I think I have just one more group, maybe. I don't know, Dave.
Okay, let's.
Might be one more. Oh no, that's it.
Okay, yeah, I think that was it.
Well, I like this that I don't have to move the pictures to my computer. This is great.
Yeah, let's see, where was I? Yeah, that's. I think there was one more. That's the better one. Yeah, that's a good usable part there. So now that you know the Gatton CNC will cut aluminum, did you have any other projects in mind that are going to be aluminum, or?
Well, what I thought is I made a yarn baller for my wife several years ago, and it used wooden gears. I think it would be kind of cool to have aluminum gears.
Yeah.
Because I got enough aluminum.
Oh yeah, you got a pretty good chunk of aluminum there.
Yeah, and I want to tell everybody, since we're live too, is that Dave mentioned to me that these little holes on the back are for the laser. These 4 little holes, those will be drilled out and countersunk on a drill press, and it should be good to go.
Yeah. Jim did exactly the same way I did. When you have a hole like that, it's just as easy just to use the router bit to put a little tick mark and come back and take it to the drill press, because you need to countersink those anyway, so you can get the screw head just below the aluminum, so you can put it up against the box there.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my Gatton CNC. Hasn't failed me yet. I've failed it a few times, but.
Jim Trainer says he recently cut 1/4-inch aluminum with his machine. Extremely pleased. Yeah, it's I always tell people, because they always say, well, can your machines cut aluminum? And like I said, really any machine, pretty much, any router can cut aluminum if you give it enough time and light enough cuts and all that kind of stuff. But if you're planning, if your primary thing is going to be cutting aluminum and metals, then you probably need to look at getting a mill instead of a router. But in a pinch, you can make parts like this, and that's, I've made several little things that I've just been kind of playing around with. Actually, this is the this is the little gear I cut on the garage work. So, you know, even with that DeWalt 611, that little compact router, it will cut aluminum. And then I'd cut this. This is a base for that Porter Cable 450 that I cut. So, and then of course I cut the. Of course, this is the prototype because I ended up making it longer, like the one you got, Jim. But it's you know, it really makes it nice because it's like, you know, when you do think of something you want to make and you want to make it to last and out of aluminum, you don't have to go find you a machine shop or anything like that. You can go ahead and do it. See, Mark Lindsay says an aluminum ridiculous stepper motor knob, perhaps. Yeah, you could. You could definitely do that. Let's see.
I have to really think about that.
Mark Allen says, actually, I remade my GarageWorks gantry uprights out of aluminum and installed bearing tightening screws. Okay. What tool was used? Tell them what tool you used there, Jim.
I used a 1/8" flat end mill I've been using for the last year. It was not a brand new one. And I got that information from Dave. So don't use the new bit. And I didn't, and I cut it just fine.
Yeah, I mean, you can use a new bit, but I'm just saying if you're still new at this and trying to get a handle on cutting aluminum, start off with an older bit, because that way if you as soon as it hits the metal, if it breaks, you're not well, I was going to throw that one away anyway. But yeah, I was amazed. In fact, I have a little spot now where I have two bits that are used bits, but I've got them in a little packet and I marked on the outside with a Sharpie aluminum. So when I go to do anything aluminum, I'm going to pull those.
No, I didn't know either, Dave. This is a 1/4 inch. Would 1/8 inch have worked or not? Or, does it have to be this thick? I'm just asking, I don't know.
1/8 inch would get, 1/4 inch is thick enough that when you have it clamped down, it'll stay down. 1/8 inch could get a little, once you start getting the outer edges cut, it could get a little wobbly.
Oh, okay.
Unless you've really got it screwed down. I mean, you could do it, but I just simply cut it out of 1/4 inch because I had some drop 1/4 inch aluminum plate around. I've got some 3/8 out there too. In fact, I got a pretty good sized piece of 3/8 out there, but I thought that'd be a little too thick. But I thought, well, this will be plenty stiff enough to mount that ox laser to, and also it might kind of help as a little bit of a heat sink having that laser screwed to that aluminum plate.
Yeah. No, I'm real happy with it. It worked out great.
All right, Javi, I see your message here. He says, I'll have a report for you. I'm on all 4 formats, checking the latency and screen recording for you. All right, yeah, I'll be interested. I know that I can look on Restream, and it shows all 4 of them online and everything, and they do a report as well. And I know that the latency is a little bit different from platform to platform. So, Javi says, man, Facebook sucks compared to the other 3. Way too much latency. Yeah, you know how Facebook is. They don't want to play well with others. I know the guys at StreamYard say that it's pretty much easy to get the permissions and all to do everything, with Restream and all that, and then Facebook is kind of its own thing. They like to like to have everything their way. So, but yeah, I'm really digging this. It's nice to be able to just pull up these different comments. Didn't have problem, just went fine. Okay, I guess he's talking about when he cut aluminum. What speed did Jim use, and how deep was each pass?
Hang on, I gotta. Can you see that, Dave?
No, are you screen sharing?
Oh no. Well, I'll tell you what it is. I use the 1/8 inch drill bit. The pass step was 0.01. The step over was 0.05. I started out at 12,000 RPM, 70 inches a minute on the feed rate, and a plunge of 20. And Dave said, well, that was because that was his bit. So I didn't catch it. That should have been about 45 inches a minute.
Yeah, I had what I was telling Jim is that tool in my VCarve library, I pretty much keep it set around 70 or 80 inches a minute. So that's why that program was 70 inches a minute, but I had bumped it down on the fly with Mach 3 to, I can't remember exactly what it was, 35, 40, 45 inches a minute, something like that. Just till it, because I did get a little chatter, and I think you can see that in when we show the pictures of your edges. It's not quite as smooth as what it probably could be, but again, it cut it. It didn't break, and you got a usable part out of it. So
what I did though, I did
you slow it down a little more.
I did bump it down from 70 to 56, and it seemed to do better. Maybe that's why the ends are better.
Yeah, just looking over here at Facebook, looks like there's, what's cool about when you're on Facebook, you can see when I put those comments up, you can see this, so you can tell that it's streaming on YouTube as well, because you see all that right there. All right, well, I guess we're.
I got all my questions answered.
I guess we're about done here. Matthew says, "How are you liking Restream?" Matt, I tried it last week. I was on my show last Saturday. I was trying to go live to YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. It worked with YouTube, and it worked with Twitch, but it didn't go to Facebook. Well, then later this week, in fact, yesterday, I tried running a little test, and I still couldn't get it to work. So I thought, well, I'm going to just delete that channel, the Facebook channel, off of Restream and redo it. And when I did, it came up and it says, you got to make sure you have it set to public. And I think that's where I screwed up. I think I had it set as friends only, so it would not stream to Facebook. So as soon as I set it to public and did that little test, it worked perfectly. In fact, right now I'm streaming live 4 places, to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope, believe it or not. I still laugh when I say Periscope because I didn't even realize it was still a thing. So, yeah, YouTube, I'm a fan of YouTube, too, obviously, because, that's been on there a long time. But I like being able to stream different places and maybe getting some people that, because a lot of times people might forget you're on, but they're sitting at home and scrolling through their Facebook stuff, and all of a sudden they're like, boom, oh, look, he's live. So, Matthew, I am using the paid account for StreamYard, but it's the free account for Restream. Restream, if you want to go to your personal Facebook page, you can do that with the free. If you want to broadcast to a Facebook group or your Facebook business page, then you need to be a paid account with Restream as well. Yeah, Mark, I watched. I actually screwed up and forgot, but that it's 3 in the afternoon for me, noon your time, I guess. And I got busy and forgot it. And about the time I realized it, you must have just gone off, because I think you went about 45 minutes, and I think I turned it on at like 3:50 or something like that. So, yeah, this is a cool format, Matt. You may, and they do have a free version. The difference, I can show you the difference between the free version is you have, you're stuck with that. That's going to be on the free version. And then they only have an overlay. You can turn it on or off, but you can do that as well. And down here in the corner as an overlay. But with the paid version, you can do all kinds of different overlays. If you've watched my stream the last couple of weeks, I've got intro videos and outro videos and stuff like that. You can do different backgrounds and just all kinds of stuff. So it's really super easy to use. The only thing, and they're constantly working on integrating new things. The guy, one of the co-founders, bought himself a Stream Deck the other day, so he's working on getting the Stream Deck thing going. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I was going to show you also, you can turn these names right here. You can turn those on or off. I had them turned off, but I'll leave them turned on now. Avi says, with a Facebook comment, he says, looking at all 4 streams, Twitch is first, Facebook is either second, third, or fourth, then YouTube, and lastly Periscope. Now, are you talking about the latency? I don't know if that's what he's talking about. Let's see, Matt Haas says, I've done a good bit of research. I'm thinking of launching a new live stream that will land in multiple places. Yeah, the Restream thing is pretty cool. Just makes it super easy. I mean, when I set this up, I came in here and, go into StreamYard and tell it I wanted to create a new broadcast. And, then I sent Jim the link and he came in, and then when we got ready to go live, I just hit live, and it's, Restream does the rest. It sends it to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope. Yeah, I've watched. There's a guy I used to watch. Ken Herron is his name, but he's a drone guy. He's a drone pilot, and he does a live stream every Thursday. I can't remember when he starts. It's either 8 or 9, and that's what he does. I think he uses OBS and then pulls in his guests with Skype. But I'm not a big fan of Skype, and just mainly because of watching his streams. He has trouble if he has more than one person on. Okay, Mark's going to go eat. Have a good evening, Mark. right. Well, I guess, Jim, if you don't have any other questions or any other thing to add, we need to get off of here. The only reason I hit live on this is because I posted on Facebook, said we were going to be talking about you cutting your aluminum, and if anybody wants to see it, I'd make it public, and if not,
No, it worked out really well, Dave. Thank you.
yeah. Well, like I said, you know, kind of what to tweak now.
Yep.
And of course, another thing too, like I said, I always say use an old bit to start. Well, now that you've done it, I mean, if it cut that good with an old bit, just probably cut even better with a new bit. So, you know, a good sharp bit. So,
yeah, there we go.
See how he says send the link so I can show you. Okay, yeah, I'll send you a link after we get off here, Javi. All right, guys and gals. I don't guess there's any gals out there. I didn't see any, but if there are, guys and gals, thanks for tuning in. We're going to call this one a night. And this is one thing I meant to mention this last Saturday, and I just flat forgot about it. But this is one of the things I was talking about when I made that post in Facebook, that this stream makes it where if, like Jim tonight just sent me a message, says, hey, you know, I'd like to do a stream with you, you know, to get some questions answered and stuff like that. And it doesn't really matter whether we do it live or just leave it private. You know, if somebody's got a question and they need me to show them something or show them some settings or go out to my shop and show you how I do something out there, this is a real easy way to do it, much better than sitting there and doing a bunch of typing on Facebook Messenger, trying to go back and forth with that, or a text message. You know, you can actually get a visual and see what's going on. So I plan on, as long as, you know, people need something, using this kind of as a tech support tool, you know, and again, anytime somebody sends me a message and says they want to do this, I will always post a thing on Facebook and see if anybody else is interested, because somebody else may be having that same issue, and then we can, you know, make it live, and then it's recorded. People can go, if they don't have a chance to watch it right now, they can go back and watch it later on YouTube. So anyway, so this will be a kind of a handy newfangled tech support tool. So anyway, well, we're going to get off of here and in this broadcast. Thanks everybody that tuned in.
Thank you.
We will see y'all Saturday, I guess, if not before. So everybody take care.
Bye now.